Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's Outlier Live, where we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about them. Today's top stories are, the first story is Disney is trying to spend its way out of going woke and going broke. The second story is Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to just steal your data, he wants to steal your blood. And lastly, Amazon workers just got a huge win in their battle against their corporate overlords. Be sure to tune in for all of that on today's Outlier Live. Okay, our first story of the day. Disney is trying to spend its way out of going woke and going broke. I don't know about you, but every time I turn around, it's a news story in my news feed about another failure from the House of Mouse, another failure from Disney. And it's been one thing after another. You know, the Disney Plus is losing subscribers hand over fist. Their theme parks are down year over year. Nobody's wanting to go to the parks anymore. And it just seems like Disney can't catch a break. But if they're successful with this, maybe they'll spin their way out of a hole. If you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Yule, and we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about them. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below and start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now, let's jump right into it. Disney plans to nearly double its investment in parks and cruise business. Disney said on Tuesday it would nearly double its planned investment of roughly $60 billion with a B in its park business. And theme parks have been a relative bright spot while the company struggles to make a profit on streaming. But still, the domestic parks, particularly Walt Disney World in Florida, have seen a slowdown in attendance and hotel room purchases. Listen, I don't blame them. My family, one of our family members was actually trying to push us all to go to Disney World by the end of the year. And then he saw the news of a person with a beard wearing a dress outside of one of the princess excursions there at Disneyland. And he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking my kid to somewhere where the princesses now have beards. I am not on board with that. And you know what? I think he is not the only one. And the data is showing he's not the only one because the theme parks have been in total free fall lately. There have been many videos circulating the internet of, middle of the day on a weekend, people walking through the middle of Disney World, no lines, no crowds, no nothing. And Disney is hurting these days. Disney said in a filing on Tuesday, it'll nearly double its planned investment in the parks of $60 billion over the next 10 years. But the company's stock closed down more than 3% on that news. Right? They've seen a slowdown in attendance and the hotel room occupancy. And this all comes shortly after Bob Iger returned as CEO. Disney announced changes to its parks, prompted by complaints from guests with rising ticket prices and longer wait times. And not only that, but Disney has involved itself in all these politics, and people are saying, we're done with Disney, right? I remember being able to put my kids down in front of Disney Plus and just actually be really stoked about the fact that they had all of this content library in one place. And I could trust that what they were watching was family friendly. That's not the case these days. I took my children to see Strange Worlds, and they had a character in there that caused my son to ask a lot of questions that I was not ready to handle on a kids movie for 8 and 11-year-olds. So Disney is really struggling these days, and I think it's because they decided that politics were more important than profits. And now they're going to try and spin their way out of going woke and going broke. And real quick, before we jump into the comments on this, check out the outlier signals for this, right? In fact, this has a 52% return over the last couple of years in this data here. And if you want to get access to these AI trading signals, go to ovtlyr.com to see how outliers win. So let's go to the comments here. Disney down almost 3% in early day trading on this. DeSantis wins again. They need to get out of politics or they're not going to make anything back. Let's keep going. And the tickets, once they figure this out, after they spend $60 billion, will be $500 each, right? Let's see. How much will Disney jack up the prices? Yeah, spending $60 billion, well, that'll be a great excuse to do so. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Disney is on the right track? Or do you think Disney has gone too far woke? They're never going to recover, and they're definitely go broke. Let me know in the comments down below. Mark Zuckerberg not only wants to steal your data, but now he wants to steal your blood. Or at least that was the first thought that I had reading this story here. The Chan Zuckerberg Initiative is building an expensive new AI GPU cluster for medical research, right? Basically, Mark Zuckerberg and his wife are creating this new foundation where they're trying to use AI to predict what's going to happen with these healthy and sick cells. But all I see, and all everybody sees out there who has seen time after time after time, Zuckerberg being one of the most vicious dealers, you could call it that, the most vicious dealers of our private data. I can't imagine that he wouldn't do the same thing to your health data. That's what scares me. Big time. Hey, if you're just tuning in, my name is Christopher Ewell, and we cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about them. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. So this will give researchers access to generative AI so they can model healthy and diseased cells. And over time, hey, that'll help them find new ways to treat the disease after they have found new ways on profiting from your disease. Jeez. Mark Zuckerberg is like every bad guy villain in every superhero movie, right? He's got billions of dollars. He tries to spin his evil empire for altruistic purposes. He tries to spin his empire for, hey, we're going to help save humanity. But at the end of the day, all they're trying to do is steal your data and find ways to sell it and profit off of it, right? This massive computing system for medical research, they'll be making up of more than 1,000 GPUs. And they're the top of the line H100 GPUs that are being developed by NVIDIA, and they're sought after for the AI-focused servers. The AI models could predict how immune cells respond to an infection, what happens at the cellular level when a child is born with a rare disease, and how a patient's body will respond to new medication. Though it sounds great. It sounds great on the surface, and everybody can say, you know what, it sounds great that we can use this technology to advance medical sciences. But Mark Zuckerberg should not be the guy in charge of this. He should not, right? How many times have we had him say, we're not selling data, right? We're not stifling stories about people's laptops. And then later on, he's like, oh yeah, we definitely were selling data. And oh yeah, the FBI came to us and said that we need to stifle everything about Hunter Biden's laptop, right? You don't want this kind of guy with your DNA, right? Before you know it, you're going to be walking around, there's going to be a clone next to you because Zuckerberg was like, I was able to make $4 billion on that clone of you. Hope you enjoy. Yeah, I don't know. We got a huge, what is the trust problem with Zuckerberg and the companies that he's associated with. And me personally, seeing news like this, doesn't get me excited. Gets me more worried about the people who are going to be participating and what that means for them in the long run and their health records. Well, let's go check out what the AI trading data has to say about Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's company. In fact, we got a buy signal. Just recently on September 7th, we got a buy signal. So if you want to get access to these AI trading signals, go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go to the comments on here. Zuckerberg just announced a new AI nonprofit to build virtual cells to predict how every cell in the human body will behave. Zuckerberg goes on to say how awesome he is and how altruistic he is, and he will never, ever sell your medical data. Oh boy, Zuck must need more personal info from the people. Let's see. Some people say it sounds interesting, sounds good. Those could definitely be bots supporting Mark, and a new market for selling your health data. Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like to me. He must be stopped. I don't think people have such a great idea about this, Mark. I think that you've kind of broken the trust for everybody involved with any aspect of your company. and asking people to trust you even more with their DNA, with their health data, with their diseases, with their cells, I think that's going to be a tall order. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about what Mark Zuckerberg is doing, and definitely hit the like button. Hey, in other news, Amazon workers just got a huge win. They are looking at giant raises, or at least some of them are. And I'm really stoked to be bringing that news to you today. So let's take a look real quick. The e-commerce giant is planning to invest $1.3 billion this year toward pay increases. Speaking of pay increases, there's a giant banner on the bottom saying, hey, give us a pay increase for providing news that everyone else is providing for free. Amazon's going to increase their customer fulfillment and transportation employees to bring the average pay to $20.50 an hour. And those wages represent more than a 50% increase over the last 5 years. That's awesome. A 50% increase for those people there. And they offer signing bonuses between $1,000 and $3,000 for select locations, and employees earning between $17 and $28 an hour. This is some really great news. I'm excited for the people who are working at Amazon and the new hires that they're going to be taking on soon. Hey, and before we go real quick, my name is Christopher Yule, and I cover the biggest headlines of the day and what the AI trading data says about them. And if you're interested in that too, be sure to definitely hit the subscribe button down below. And start trading with AI today. Go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. So Amazon is ready to pay more, right? But I think it's not just an altruistic, a kindness decision here. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that the UAW auto workers are striking. And the UAW auto workers are looking for a 40% raise. So Amazon was like, I'm going to hit this off at the pass. We're going to offer them a 50% raise. That way, the unions don't start coming to us, because listen, we make a ton of money in the last quarter of the year when everybody's Christmas shopping and they can't be bothered to go to stores anymore. I am one of those people. And so they're going to order everything they need for Christmas from Amazon, right? Santa drives an Amazon truck these days, and they definitely don't want any sort of slowdown when it's their biggest profitable time of the year. We got to keep those workers working. And the way that we can do it is by not letting any sort of labor dispute get in the way and keeping our employees satisfied, which at the end of the day, they need to be doing that anyway, right? So let's go take a look at the AI trading data on this. We can see Amazon got a buy signal back on August 31st. So if you're interested in getting these AI trading data and the AI trading signals, go to ovtlyr.com to see why outliers win. Now let's go take a look at the comments here. Amazon's investing $1 billion towards pay raises this year, and that'll be distributed among the top 10. Right? That was my first thought too, is, oh, okay, so Jeff Bezos, which I know he doesn't work there anymore, but Jeff Bezos and his cronies are about to get a huge raise. But realistically, they're going to be spreading it amongst all the other workers as well. And this person says, that's a modest pay raise for Bezos. Yeah, but union repellent, right? And this person says, you nailed it, right? We don't want the unions to shut down Amazon at Christmas time. How can we do that? Making sure that we don't give them a reason to shut it down. Then they're going to mandate an 8-day work week in order to get the performance bonus, or they're fired. Of course, there's some parity there. But yeah, Amazon historically has not been very kind to its workers. But to see that they are trying to take care of them, it's pretty great. But this person says an effect that will be felt by all Amazon customers. And more than likely, that is definitely going to be the case, right? It's going to cost a couple extra pennies to deliver that overall in the grand scheme of things, and they're going to make sure they pass that cost on to you as well. And thank you so much for tuning in to today's Outlier Live. YouTube thinks you're going to love one of these two videos, and I'll see you on the next episode.